Hi, welcome to the Love and Sustainability Initiative. And today, I guess I wanted to talk about what's been going on in the world and how it is affecting us. Now, with the latest election and the campaign and all that, there has been a surge of bullying, and it's not just kids. Okay, it's grown people doing the bullying as well. But my main thing is, for the children. But before the election, all of that, I had wanted to post and talk about bullying, the case of the young girl, Bethany Thomas. No, Bethany Thompson. And she was an 11-year-old girl who killed herself because she couldn't take the bullying anymore. Now, the thing is, she had survived cancer of the brain. And what happened is it left her, it damaged some nerves and everything. And so because of the bullying, she killed herself. And so to the bullies, I want to ask you to just sort of, if you can, just sort of think outside of yourself and think about what you're saying and how that can affect someone, especially if it can hurt them. Because if it wasn't for the bullying, little Bethany would probably still be here. And, we want to think, sometimes people are going through things that we know nothing about. And things can affect them and hurt them in ways that you won't know. But you definitely know you're hurting them if you're bullying and saying things that are not nice and that are mean-spirited. And so, if you can, just think outside of yourself just for a moment and think about what you're doing, what you're saying, and how that might affect someone. And maybe that will help. But because of the surge in bullying right now, because of the election and all of that, I had to think. I saw an article. It was in the Wall Street Journal, and I forgot the writer's name. But it was an article that sort of talked about how, what do you tell your children? Okay, and, with this election stuff, it was a very painful election process. So anyway, what I thought about is that, with everything that was happening, and it's sort of like, even as an adult, I had to process everything as well. And so I had to sort of step back just a little bit, just so that I could sort of see it. So it's, because for me, it's sort of like, what is this? What is this? And so as I step back and in my mind, I'm seeing flashes of everything that has happened and things that people said, and I'm bringing it here. Okay. And so once I stepped back and I looked and I said, well, how do you describe this? How do you describe this? What is this? And so I would sort of explain it. It felt sort of like this great, big, humongous, gargantuous, knock down, drag out custody battle. That's what it sort of seemed like. This just great big custody battle. Okay? You've got Daddy, Donald Trump, and then you've got Mommy, Hillary Clinton. Okay, and so it's sort of like two parents. They both. This is how I could sort of explain it. They both want custody of the children. Okay, they and Daddy Donald Trump has his ideas of what is best for the children and the environment that he wants to create for the children. Okay? And then on the other hand, you have Mommy Hillary Clinton that has her ideas of what's best for the children. Okay? And so then what's happening is they're duking it out. They're fighting it out. They both want what's best for the children, but they just have different ideas on how and what and all of that good stuff. Okay? And so you see them, you know, okay? And that's what happens in custody battles. Daddy says everything that's wrong with what Mommy wants, and Mommy is saying everything that's wrong with what Daddy wants. Okay, and so then, you know, so they're duking it out. They're bringing in their friends, their people, and they're giving all, and they're just duking it out. Okay, and so then what happens is, well, in the court, the judge decides who should have the responsibility of caring for the children. And so in this case, with Donald Trump, the Electoral College elected him, okay? And with Mommy, Hillary Clinton, with Mommy, the kids, most of the kids wanted Mommy to take care of everyone. So then, you know, there, like I said, there was this fight, this battle, and what happens is the children get caught in the crossfire. Okay, the children get caught in the crossfire because then you have some children, some of the kids want Daddy to take care of them. Okay, and then the other kids want Mommy to take care of them. Okay, and so then they get all hung up in the feelings, you know, they you know, the ones that favored Daddy, they get caught up in Daddy's feelings. And the ones that wanted Mommy, they get caught up in Mommy's feelings. And then the kids sort of get caught up and you know, the kids that wanted Daddy are mad at the kids that wanted Mommy, and the kids that wanted Mommy are mad at the kids that wanted Daddy, and all of that. So it's sort of like this great big custody battle. But the one thing that we want to realize in all of this, okay, this is how it is. This is what happened. Okay, but the one thing that is common is that, and hopefully, and usually, when the parents are duking it out, it usually does not come from a place of hate. Usually, it does not come from a place of hate. Usually, it comes from a place of love. As crazy as it may sound and as crazy as it may look, okay, both parents, both Daddy and Mommy, you know, Daddy, Donald Trump, Mommy, Hillary Clinton, both of them loved the children so much that they were ready, willing to boom, 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 duke it out. Okay? And so, you know, this is how it is. And like I said, hopefully this is coming out of a place of love. They love the kids so much, okay, that, you know, even though that might not look like it, but That's sort of how I, came to terms with everything that happened, and how to explain it to children in a loving way, so that hopefully they don't go around telling people to go back home, go back to Mexico, go back to Africa, go back to Syria, go back to China, go back where, all of that. Because the one thing also is that, listen, before anything, before we're white, before we're black, before we're Hispanic, before we're Mexican, before we are Chinese, before we are man, before we are woman, before we are child, before we are gay, before we are lesbian, before we are transgender, before we are young, before we are old, whatever it is, the one commonality is that we are human first. We are all humans, okay? And so we want to remember that human aspect of life, okay? That we are all human, and we all have feelings, and we think, we all have our thinking and our opinions and all of that, and that's what makes the world go round. That's so instead of us fighting each other, over our differences, embrace those things that are the same, at least. That's a start. So anyway, for the children, I would say, please, before you bully, just think about what you're doing. Think outside of yourself. Think if it were you. Think if it were you that someone was telling you you needed to go back home and build a wall and things like that. And, it's sort of something where children, they may not understand everything. I mean, because obviously what has happened in some schools across the United States, and these first incidents I'm referring to are incidents that happened in lower grades, where the children were chanting, build a wall, go back home. And, the thing is, they're too young to vote. What are you talking about? So as parents, sometimes we want to explain in a loving way why we feel the way we feel. Why, if we liked one particular person over the other, explain why. And that might help our children as they go through this. So anyway, that is basically what